11.50 horizontal. The data rate is 11.914. We're joined by Vermont student athletes Trey Bell Haynes, Anthony Lamb, and Cam Ward. Questions, please.
Anthony, how excited are you to go up against a guy like Caleb Swanigan down low?
It's a great opportunity. I'm truly looking forward to it. It'll be like an NBA, playing against an NBA caliber player. So that test is going to be the first I've had like in my lifetime so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I'm happy to be going with my brothers. So.
Trey, if you could just speak to why you guys have had success on the defensive end of the floor this season, what's kind of the style that you play?
I just think we're really connected as a team on the defensive end. Anyone coming in, communication is probably the biggest part, and I think as a team, we know where each other are on the court at all times, and we know where we should be. And I think so far this year, we've been rebounding well defensively, and we've been guarding the three-point line, stuff that kind of killed us last season. So I think that's kind of why the communication, just cleaning the defensive rebounding, guarding the three-point line up.
While we wait for another question, let's get Cam involved. Just your thoughts about this matchup tomorrow and how you feel the mood of the team is.
I think the mood is at an all-time high. I mean, we're all very excited to play. We worked very hard to get here, so just to have this opportunity, and especially for me to come back to Milwaukee and the home state of Wisconsin, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Anthony, what's allowed you to have success this year, personally?
Personally, it's been my teammates just get me in the right spots, and just like putting the work in before the season is very important. But if I didn't have teammates like Trey and like everybody else attacking the basket, I wouldn't have the open looks that I have and I've seen throughout the year.
Cam, what has Anthony meant for you guys this year?
He's meant a lot, obviously. I mean, it's really hard to deny that he's a really, really big piece of our program and a big piece of this team. And, I mean, I think the people don't know is how good of a guy he really is. I mean, he came in, just worked hard, and just wanted to win it for more than just himself, but for us.
This is for anybody. Have you guys talked at all about the last time Vermont was a 13 seed in the NCAA tournament with TJ shot and things like that? Does that come up ever?
I think it comes up more from the people around us, the people that are big fans of the program. I think obviously it was the Syracuse game, and TJ hit the huge shot, which is the story we've all heard and the story we heard being recruited here. But we don't really talk about it. Obviously, we'll probably use it as some inspiration. I mean, if they could do it, we can do it too. But we don't talk about it too much now.
Trey, will you think about taking a shot that far away from the three-point line like TJ did potentially, in general in the game?
Yeah, so if like under 5 seconds left in the first half, or maybe if under 5 seconds left on the shot clock, can't go anywhere, I'll take it. But otherwise, it's not. Maybe Cam or Ernie, maybe Kurt too, but not me.
Anthony, I know you're not going to guard him, but Isaac Haas, for them, 7'2", 290 pounds. I'm not sure how often you guys have seen a player like that. What problems does he present?
Well, it's really like not having played anybody else of that caliber, like physically. Like that's really the challenge. Like not having any experience. I feel like that's the biggest problem that it presents. It's gonna be tough, definitely, because like we have nobody to like match up at height-wise to him. But definitely, we're gonna handle it as a group, and we have things that can hopefully handle him.
While we're on the satellite, if we can just go down the line, it's been such a great season, kind of just the journey this week, getting ready for coming here and what you'll do between now and game time. Trey first.
Between now and game time, we brought a PS4, so I'll probably play some Call of Duty on my downtime at the hotel. That's probably what I got.
Probably gonna call my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I room with Trey, so I'll be right next to him playing Call of Duty, honestly.
Anything else for the student athletes? Yes.
To win as many games as you guys have won in a row this year, what are the things that you have to do or focus on to avoid getting complacent and still work hard each week, even though the wins keep coming day after day after day?
I think we avoided complacency by knowing we had a goal in mind, and throughout the whole season we had set little goals, and we reached one, and there was another goal right after. And I think when we were first, like as soon as conference play started, it was steal as many games on the road as we could, and then we kind of went through the first half. We beat Albany at Albany, beat Stony Brook at Stony Brook. It was like, okay, we have a chance to go on 16-0, so let's try that. And then it was clinch home court. And then when we got to the playoffs, it was play 120 minutes of the hardest, like best basketball. So now where we're at, we got 40 minutes. It's a completely new season, so we're gonna go out there and we're gonna try to win. And that's our goal.
Anything else? All right, thanks, guys. Good luck tomorrow night. He's all right. Welcome, Vermont coach John Becker. Questions, please.
I'm okay.
Coach, can you just speak to how your team's different than the one that played Purdue last season this year in terms of matchups, personnel, just the way you're playing and the circumstances and so on?
Yeah, we're a much better defensive team, have more depth up front. And, against Purdue last year, they scored 107 and made 18 threes. And we've done a much better job of guarding the three-point line this year. So that will be a big deal again tomorrow night.
What's Anthony meant to you guys this year?
Yeah, Anthony Lamb's been tremendous for us, and he's grown a lot. Was freshman of the year in our conference, rookie of the year in our conference. And he's become a go-to guy down the stretch. One thing that's become very evident with Anthony is, the moment's not too big for him. He's not afraid of the moment. In the biggest games of our season, late in the year, he played his best. And even in the championship game where he struggled from the floor, he made 6 free throws down the stretch that were huge to kind of turning that game. So he's a special player and really provides an inside-out threat for us. And really rebounds the ball well, but most importantly, from a character standpoint, he has that clutch gene, it seems, and he's certainly not afraid of the moment.
Coach, just talking to the guys in the locker room, has it hit them yet, where they are, what they're doing? I know getting here a day early might have been a little bit, but Kurt even saying that even not yet, maybe until tomorrow.
Yeah, I think once they go out on the court, back there in the locker room, but certainly when they go out in the court and see the setup and finally feel like they've arrived. We've been here for a couple days. We've been in, over at Marquette and over at the Bucks facility, in and around town, practicing. And staying out of town. But now being here at the site, I think when they go out on that court and see the size of the arena and see the NCAA logos and whatnot, it will hit them, and I think the excitement will start to build.
There was a story here to your left. There was a story a number of years ago about Will Brown at Albany using broomsticks to try and simulate the length of a UConn team he was playing. Are there anything you do of that nature to try and imitate what the guys might see?
We haven't, we could try to score against a brick wall, it's probably the closest thing that we could do to try to emulate the size of Haas and Swanigan. But no, we've played a pretty competitive non-conference schedule. We played these guys last year, so our guys have played in a lot of big games against bigger teams. And, it will take a little bit of an adjustment early in the game to figure it out. But, our guys have played against some high-level competition. So we won't do anything gimmicky to kind of try to get them used to it. No.
Coach, talking to Cam yesterday after the practice at Marquette, he really referred to it as a business trip, even though this is his home state. And it seems like that's really been the mentality of this team, not just today, but this whole season.
Yeah, these guys have been incredibly focused all year. And they've taken it one game at a time, and it's a cliche, but these guys have done it, and it's a huge deal. It separates, champions from people who just fall short. And they've been, I asked them to really try to enjoy this, this event. But when we get on the court or get in the film room, then we got to get back to work and have change our mindset. And the guys have, done a really good job with that. And we'll have one more walkthrough tomorrow before the game, and they'll be ready to play tomorrow night.
Coach, your bench has played such a big role this season. Do you expect to utilize the bench in this game? Or, you've kind of slowed it down a little bit over the last couple of games, but how would you utilize DP or Cam Ward, Drew Urquhart?
Yeah, we've played 9, 10 guys all year, and as the playoffs came, I've tightened the rotation. It was 8 for the first couple playoff games, and then essentially 6 in the championship game. I prefer to play a bigger bench. We'll have to see how the game goes, but I do think in a game like this, our front court depth should be something that we can use, to get fresh bodies on these guys, prevent us from getting in foul trouble. So, guys will get an opportunity to get in the game tonight. You know, the guys that have been in the rotation the whole year will earn a right to play in the game. It's just then on them how they play when they get out there will determine how many minutes they play after that.
Before the season started, did you anticipate having as much balanced scoring as you have throughout the year?
Yeah, I mean, that's how we've always played under, you know, since I've been head coach, is very balanced. We've never, and I think in all my years as a head coach, never had anyone average more than 13 points. I just believe in sharing the ball. We really preach defense and rebounding, and I understand in order to get guys to play at the highest level on that end, they got to touch it once in a while, score it once in a while, have a play run for them. And so, you know, I also think it makes it harder for us to be scouted. And it's just kind of the culture of our program is very unselfish. So I have to actually ask guys to shoot more, you know, because they'll pass up wide open shots to get their teammate a shot. So at times we're almost too unselfish, but I'd rather have that than the alternative.
How important has the impact of Dre Wills and Kurt Steidl been to this team, both on and off the court?
Yeah, I mean, those two guys came in together. They are, you know, from opposite backgrounds to a large extent, and but they're best of friends, and they have been a huge part of this program throughout their career, and especially this year. You know, I think Dre Wills has had a tremendous year as a senior and has been the difference, has been the X factor last month of the season. He's played at a high level, scoring the ball, which he never used to do, and really defensively, he was the Defensive Player of the Year this year. And since he's gotten that recognition, his defense has even gotten better. I think it's given him confidence in what he's doing. And Kurt, you know, has you know, played more early in his career as a freshman, but you know, he hit two of the biggest shots in the championship game, and you know, to a degree, saved our season. You know, with some shots where we couldn't get anything to go, and he's, you know, both those guys have been tremendous leaders off the court. They've been the engine driving this thing. It's been a unique year. In the sense that these guys have been super focused and motivated, and I haven't had to, I've just kind of been along for the ride. These guys have known what they wanted to do to get here since last March, and they have, with Dre and Kurt's leadership, they've been laser focused.
How would Purdue potentially test your defense? I mean, you said you're a different team, but so are they.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we want to be balanced inside and out, you know, and you know, it's going to be hard to score in there. We're going to have to find ways to score in the paint. That's what we do. You know, they have size, you know, and I think that is going to, hopefully doesn't make us one-dimensional. You know, we do not want to just shoot threes the whole game. I think we'll have our opportunities from three, and hopefully we can make our fair share. But we don't want to become one-dimensional. And you know, with a team that big and strong, they, you know, potentially could make you one-dimensional.
Anything else for Coach?
The inspiration from Josh Speidel, I mean, how's that impacted the team over the course of the whole season, because he's been with you from the start? Yeah,
you know, I've thought about this, and you know, what Josh has meant to us is hard to describe now that we're with him every day and see him every day. Other than it's, you know, you're just motivated and inspired by what he's doing on the side court every day. And it's gotten to the point he's running now, he's jumping, he's, you know, when our guys are running sprints after end of drills, he's on the side court trying to run with the group that's lost a drill or whatever. And our guys will just stop practice and cheer him on, you know, and it's just he's touched everybody, you know, and this has been a magical year. There's something happening with our program this year, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Josh Speidel is here and part of it and has something to do with that.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.